Alright, well, we got our feet wet with the Civil War, took over Whiterun, put someone on the throne that actually would serve Skyrim's interest, not completely sold out to the Empire, which, wouldn't have thought that of Balgruuf initially. In fact, from what I understood, he even hated, the Thalmor as much as anyone else, but when it came down to it, he was sold out enough to Imperial coin and in their pocket enough, and probably part of that is due to that flaky-ass little snake advisor that he's got, Preventius or whatever, always whispering in his ear to do nothing while the Thalmor have their way and the Imperials have their way in Skyrim. I'm sure that was his job, was to keep Balgruuf passive. But you give Balgruuf a chance to do the right thing, and he still doesn't. He decides to side with the Empire, and he thinks he's going to do it on his terms, and I'm like, you can't be that stupid unless you're just stupid on purpose. I mean, seriously, to think you're going to set some condition or terms for the Empire to... They already own you, dude. And anyway, he had an opportunity to side with Stormcloaks and do the right thing for the Nords and for Skyrim, and he chose not to, so piss on him. He's lucky he got to walk out and didn't go out on a stretcher, actually. At least they gave him that much dignity, which he didn't deserve. Once you've gone traitor, well, that's it. But whatever. Anyway, what's done is done, and so we have someone in place in Whiterun that'll actually look out for our interests and understands what it means to
I figured out how we're going to
keep the Empire and the Thalmor out of your business.
That would be a bad idea. I'd be too likely to attract the wrong kind of attention. But they don't know you at all yet. The Thalmor Ambassador, Elenwen, regularly throws parties where the rich and connected cozy up to the Thalmor. I can get you into one of those parties. Once you're inside the embassy, you can get away and find Elenwen's secret files. I have a contact inside the embassy. He's not up for this kind of high-risk mission, but he can help you. His name is Malborn. Wood Elf. Plenty of reason to hate the Thalmor. You can trust him. I'll get word for him to meet you in Solitude at the Winking Skeever. You know it? While you're doing that, I'll work on getting you an invitation to Elenwen's little party. Meet me at the Solitude stables after you've arranged things with Malborn. Any questions?
Yeah, the rich and the powerful who actually make decisions in Skyrim are the ones meeting with the Thalmor to rub elbows and make backroom deals? Huh.
That's when the fun starts.
Politics.
You'll have to slip away from the party without raising the alarm. Then you'll need to find Elenwen's office and search her files. Malborn should be able to point you in the right direction. Sounds good. Be careful.
Think about it, the consequences of having wealth and power and making decisions means that decisions that you make can dictate who's fighting and where. And so a simple backroom deal for a few gold can cost the lives of people. And so the value of these lives is balanced in a handful of gold here and there, or a little deal, or a favor, or just letting people die so that you don't piss anybody off. That's how these backroom deals go. And these people up top looking down, they don't ever see the people underneath them that are getting trampled under their feet. They just make these deals on a whim because they're thinking about nothing but themselves and wealth and power and all that. I mean, it has its purpose, but when it's misused and stuff, and dealing with the enemy here in Skyrim, the rich and the powerful need to be using their funds to fight against the Thalmor, not to go make deals with them in back rooms. Getting back a little pocket change from the gold that our taxes and everything else are using to empower Imperial and Thalmor war coffers. It's just bad all the way around. Politics, man, politics. Yeah. Anyway, now Delphine, she's convinced that somehow the Thalmor are responsible for the dragons coming back. She states as such earlier, and so we're going to try to find evidence to that fact. She's just convinced, and she needs some proof to her conspiracy thing. So that's essentially what we're looking for.
Breton? Really? You're who she picked?
Oh, thanks for the vote of confidence,
she knows
dude.
What she's doing. Here's the deal. I can smuggle some equipment into the embassy for you. Don't plan on bringing anything else in with you. The Thalmor take security very seriously. Give me what you can't live without, and I'll make sure to get it into the embassy. The rest is up to you. Okay, I'll get this inside the embassy for you. I've got to go. I'll find you at the party. Don't worry.
Stuff I can't live without. Weapons, lockpicks. Now, Delphine's history with the Thalmor. This is, from what I understand, the basic gist of it is like we see in Oblivion. The Blades are sworn to protect the Emperor, the Imperial line. In this case, it'd be the Septums, right? Okay, so they keep the Septim dynasty intact. That's their job. It's kind of like Secret Service, sort of. And at the very beginning of Oblivion, what is thought to be the last of the emperors is assassinated. And he basically tells you, no, there's one more, and it's kind of like his illegitimate son or something like that, right? What do you mean rags would be preferable? I'm streaking. Gotta respect the streaking through solitude,
Your
man.
job is to get into the party without being fingered as a spy.
No, my job is to run through the middle of these streets in my underwear. That is my job right now. Thank you very much. I'll do that kindly. But anyway, so you go find Martin Septim. He is the last in line of the of the emperors, and you get him the Amulet of Kings, and however that story plays out. But then after he goes, because he essentially sacrificed himself to end the Oblivion crisis like single-handedly. Well, with the help of Akatosh and turning into an actual dragon, a 3 million foot tall dragon in the middle of the Imperial City. Thought that was pretty awesome. They didn't even have to make a statue for him. He became the statue or something. Anyway, it was pretty cool. But, oh, hold on. Here's Delphine.
Have you given Malborn the gear you want to smuggle into the embassy? Good. I have your invitation to the party. But the only way you're going to get past the guards is if they really believe you're an invited guest. Which means you need to look the part and not be armed to the teeth. Here, put this on. When you're ready, I'll keep the rest of your gear safe until you get back. You'll only have what Malborn smuggled in for you, plus whatever you can pick up inside.
What, I can't go streaking through the Thalmor Embassy too? Spend the rest of the game in our underwear. What do you think? No? Yeah, these look pretty good.
You should pass for a real guest, at least until you open your mouth. Ready to board the carriage to the embassy? Ready to board the carriage to the embassy?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it will all be waiting for you when you get back. Just make sure you get back out of there alive with the information we need. Good luck.
So anyway, with the passing of the last of the emperors, the Blades kind of lost their purpose, I guess you could say. And apparently they turned into something of a Black Ops type group. And with the coming of the Great War shortly after that, like we've talked about before, the High Elves basically taking advantage of the Empire's weakness in the face of just getting past the Oblivion crisis and all the Oblivion gates that had been opening and stuff, and whatever Imperial soldiers had been lost and blah blah blah. With all that fighting, they eventually resorted to being something more of a, I guess like an intelligence service, kind of like a CIA type thing, where they just go and do little Black Ops runs and stuff like that against Thalmor. And apparently, Delphine did a lot of damage to the Thalmor, her and her little cohorts, but they've been somewhat scattered, and now they're just being hunted down by the Thalmor, who are still around thanks to the Emperor breaking weak. And here we have it. So she's seeing a Thalmor devil in every bush. Anything bad that happens, it must be the Thalmor behind it.
The Thalmor Ambassador to Skyrim. And you are?
Never answer directly. Don't even give him your name.
Have you? All good, I trust. But you have me at a disadvantage. I'm afraid I know nothing about you. Please, tell me more about yourself. What brings you to this... to Skyrim?
Unicorns, butterflies,
It's just that we've run out of the Alto wine. Do I have your permission to uncork the
Of
Arinthia
course.
Red?
I've told you before not to bother me with such trifles.
Yes, Madam Ambassador.
My apologies. We'll have to get better acquainted later. Please, enjoy yourself.
What can I get for you? You made it in. Good. As soon as you distract the guards, I'll open this door and we can get you on your way. Let's hope we both live through this day. What can I get? Yes, what do you need?
Need a drink. We need to create a
Here
distraction.
you go, ma'am. The finest Colovian brandy. Is there anything else I can get for you? Farewell.
I think there's several ways to do this, but this is my favorite.
What does a fellow need to do to get a drink around here? Ah, pardon me, friend. I didn't see you standing there. Allow me to introduce myself. Rosalan, imports and exports by trade. Observer of human nature by avocation. Ah, the one generous soul amongst a gathering of pinch pennies and lick spittles. If there's anything I can ever do for you, do not hesitate to call upon me. Wonderful. I can begin to repay your generosity immediately. Say on, friend. Is that all? My friend, you've come to the right person. You could say that causing a scene is somewhat of a specialty of mine. Stand back and behold my handiwork. Attention, everyone! Could I have your attention, please? I have an announcement to make. I propose a toast to Ellenwyn, our mistress.
What are you
I
doing?
speak figuratively, of course. Nothing could be more unlikely than that someone would actually want her in their bed. Although, most of you are already in bed with her. But again, I speak figuratively, of course.
Awesome. I could stand here all day and listen to him insult the Thalmor Ambassador. Alright, now I think we find that Ellenwyn is the handler who had Ulfric captured around the time of the Markarth incident, which I'm kind of sketchy on what all happened right there, but having something to do with, like, I think the Forsworn or something, or some skirmish. Anyway,
Let me do the talking.
whatever, he get captured by
So far, so
the
good.
Thalmor
Let's hope nobody saw us
and is
slip out.
imprisoned for a while.
We need to pass through the kitchen. Your gear is hidden in the larder. Just stay close and let me do any talking. Got it? Follow me.
And during the course of that time, Ulfric's father passes, and Ulfric, I think the idea was that the Thalmor turn Ulfric as an agent, and then have their own agent in place running the Stormcloak Rebellion. I think that was their idea.
You know this is against the rules.
Rules, is it, Savani? I didn't realize that eating moon sugar was permitted. Perhaps I should ask the ambassador.
Get out of here. I saw nothing.
But we find
Gear's
that
in that chest. I'll lock the door behind
we'll
you.
see some
Don't
evidence to this
screw
effect
this
here.
up.
But essentially, Ulfric wasn't turned.
If someone
He was
misses me at the
captured
party, we're
and
both dead.
lied to a bit while he was in captivity, but the bottom line is he got out and served his own interests, and he can't even be approached by the Thalmor publicly. Ulfric's not trying to hear that. He, of all the maybe downside and things you don't like about him, that's one thing, is that he wasn't going to be turned against his own cause or against his own people. But I think the idea initially, and I wouldn't doubt that Thalmor even went so far as to have his father assassinated in hopes that they could put him in as a, a
I
puppet
need to lock the door
dictator
behind
type
you,
of thing.
or the patrols might notice something's wrong.
But whatever the case, I think the Thalmor are happy just to keep civil war going, to keep both sides weakened.
You're on your own.
I think we can agree that that's essentially what they consider to be their best
More
interests.
of the emissaries treaty enforcement? No, they're high mages, just in from Alinor. I guess herself is finally getting worried about all the dragon attacks. Ah, good. I've been wondering how we were supposed to defend this place from a dragon. If a dragon does show up, maybe we'll get lucky, and it will eat the mages
So
first.
Thalmor have division
Might give us
even
enough
amongst
time to-
themselves.
Ha! I'd like to see those arrogant bastards taken down a notch. Always looking down their noses at us lowly foot sloggers.
As they say, a house divided against itself can't stand, and
Well, we'd better
they've
get
already
back to our
alienated
rounds.
the shit out of themselves, and they fight amongst themselves also on top of that. I'd use that to my advantage. Good save point right there. Anyway, all right, let's get through here. I could do a little looting around here. There's a few cabinets and stuff to unlock and what have you, but I'm just gonna get through here, go get our paperwork, and get out. The longer I'm here, the more I'm tempted to just kill everyone in sight. I really don't like the Thalmor. You know what? I'm not going to walk out here completely empty-handed. Pickpocket this punk right here. There's your week's salary. Say goodbye. So the Thalmor, if they had their way, they would keep the Imperials and the Nords fighting forever. Basically, as long as their eyes aren't on them, while they regroup and recoup and stamp out Talos, who they consider a threat, even if no one else really takes them seriously. You know, I noticed a pattern there amongst players, right? And somewhat in the game, a lot of the Nords are quickly reverting to saying the 8 instead of the 9 and all that type of stuff. And, you know, allowing Talos, you know, I guess if you don't take a spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it, faith, seriously, then, you know, if faith isn't playing a huge part in your day-to-day activities, people tend to forget about these things. Really, really short memories for stuff like that. There was a time where when, you know, like East Grimoire back in those times, and when you had, you know, Tiber Septim and all that, when these people are doing supernatural things, right, under the power of the gods at the time, it's all about a nation founded under God. But then you give it 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, people have really short memories, and God, they begin to scoff at the very thing their country was founded on and disregard the one thing that actually not only was their foundation, their founding stone upon which everything was built, but what keeps the whole thing together. And in abandoning Talos, it's no coincidence that the Empire has crumbled. It is gone. I mean, you can say Empire all you want, but that's just words. It's empty speech. There's nothing to fill it up. There is no Empire anymore. Like I say, you have a tool of the Thalmor here, and their whole idea is to stamp out Talos. That in and of itself would destroy Skyrim. That in and of itself has destroyed the Empire, you know. And for those that scoff at religion or this and that, I'll just say this, that if the... Oh, what's a good word for... I'm going to kill this traitor here, by the way. That dude right there. I think he'll show up later on down around the Thieves Guild. If you don't kill him here, spying. Friggin' Thalmor bootlicker snitch. Anyway. And he's here ready to sell anybody and everybody out for a handful of Thalmor coin. What a pathetic piece of crap. Anyway, he gets what he deserves. But, for those that would scoff, I would just say this. Because, let's say the wellspring of life is opened up like floodgates, just because you don't drink it doesn't mean the water doesn't do anything. All right? It doesn't do anything for you because you're not drinking it. Right? And because you don't know what it's about, or you scoff at it, or you say, I don't need that, or you say whatever, whether it's pride or whatever keeps you from it, bottom line is A, it's not hurting anyone, right? But B, if it does have power, it never ceases to amaze me. People who are really, really quick to attack religions. It's one thing to not believe. And it's one thing to even tell somebody, you know, it seems kind of foolish for me for you to believe that because it doesn't really see anything to it. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You just don't see it. A lot of us don't know how to make nuclear bombs either, but we all know what happens when they explode. Okay, so just because we don't know doesn't mean it isn't, right? It's just whatever. And whether I'm defending it or not, I'm really not out to say anything other than the fact that if it is, fighting against it seems really foolish. And if it isn't, fighting against it is also foolish, because if it isn't, now you're just shadowboxing. Now you're just punching at a wall, telling everybody what a big bag of fighter you are, when there is no opponent there, according to you. So if you spend day in and day out fighting against something that doesn't exist, you validate the thing you're fighting against more than if you would just leave it alone and let it just fade away on its own. Does that make sense? So, you know, for those that scoff at any religion, this is any of them. This isn't even talking about any one in particular. Some get attacked a lot more than others. Makes me wonder if some of those don't have something more to them than others. But whatever the case may be, fighting against them seems foolish. Because if God is, I don't want to make him an enemy because he's bigger than I am. And if he isn't, then what am I fighting against? Why should I even bother? And if the next guy wants to get into that, well, I've seen people make personal, relationship, and political choices and moral decisions that aren't just questionable, they're just flat out wrong. Just wrong. And by any estimation, by any decent standard, by any common sense, are wrong. And you can say, well, that idiot, you know, to yourself, and just, you know, but that's his business. But then when it comes to somebody else's faith, well, we're really quick to just jump all over him and crucify him and you know, burn him at the stake and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it's crazy. Like I say, why attack it if there's nothing to it? And if there is something to it, it's kind of foolish, even if you don't understand it, to make an enemy of something that is, by all intents and purposes, a whole lot bigger than we are. You know, I mean, it's the big bully down the street that's so big that you look at him, the only reason you can't see him is all you're seeing is the cuff of his pants. He's that big.
Stop,
He blots out, you know, the sunlight type of thing. Hey, why would you pick a fight with that? I don't get it. But whatever. Anyway, so I see that principle here. Is I see a scoffing, a disregard of faith. And Talos would be the one thing that this empire was founded on. And so when you disregard that, when you scoff at it, of course the empire would crumble. And I mean the empire going all the way back to the original Nords, not the empire as you see it now, you know, covering most of Tamriel, actually. Alright, so here's Imperial torturers doing what they do here down in the embassy. On Skyrim soil, torturing Nords. It's just, wow. So, I mean, these people, yeah, they get the death sentence. Absolutely. Every single one of them. Not only are you trespassing, not only are you stealing, not only are you inciting and keeping war going on, but now you're murdering and torturing too. Innocent, yeah. Anyway. Alright, so we've gotten the evidence and stuff. We get a little insight into Delphine herself, that she really is a pretty formidable agent, doing a lot of damage to the Thalmor, which makes her cool in my book.
Spy. You're trapped in here, and we have your accomplice. Surrender immediately, or you both
Oh, you mean
die.
me? Uh-oh, I think I got Malborn with that, too. Well, Malborn's a marked man anyway. Now he's literally marked. Oh, wait, I can't get through up here, can I? Ah, damn it. Well, Oh, they came down to me. Alright, good deal.
Victory is yours.
I remember a time where these guys would have one or two shot at me with all that. Uh-oh, I think Malborn's still marked. Yeah, that's probably going to end him. Sorry, dude. Well, it's probably better to go now quick than fall into Thalmor hands later. Just saying.
Now the Thalmor will be hunting me for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
I hope it was worth it.
Probably not worth it, actually.
I told you. I don't know anything else about it. What? Who? What do you want then? Yeah, sure. Okay. Come on, this way. I've seen the guards use it to get rid of bodies. It must lead somewhere. Whatever you want. But let's go, now.
Sorry, Malborn. My bad, man. Like I say, you might actually be better off. Place to get rid of bodies, huh?
What was that?
It is, I believe, a troll. So we see who disposes of these bodies now. You got the freaking Thalmor down here feeding a troll with their prisoners. Let's see if I can go toe-to-toe with the troll. Oh, wow, they hit hard. Yeah, he only had to hit me one more time, I'm sure. Here's another unusual gem. You know, if I was actually collecting these, I'd probably miss this gem here. I guess I've already read that book. I'm not picking those up, but anyway, there you go. I actually would have expected for there to be a gem here to be up in Elenwen's office. But I guess it's cool if you're collecting them. They gotta put it in a place where I don't think you can ever go back to the embassy after this right here. They gotta put it in a place that you can come back to retrieve it. And I think you can come back into this cave anytime you want. And so here's this dude. I think he's one of the thieves in the Thieves Guild.
You didn't have to help me, so thanks.
Actually, if I had some extra clothes, I could probably pass along some clothes to him. So there's a few landmarks in here to discover if I wanted to. Gotta remember to do Dawnbreaker. We got Meridia's shrine or whatever just down the road here too. Also need to get down to Dragon's Bridge and remember there's the next step in the Dark Brotherhood quest. Kind of get that done. Actually, I don't think we're too far from the end of that. I think there's a couple more things to do. Pretty fun quests, and then that's pretty much over. It's kind of like the Thieves Guild, is there's continuous little money tasks that you can carry out. Assassinations, of course, is being the Dark Brotherhood, but the Night Mother basically gives you perpetually endless assassinations to go carry out if you want. I don't know if the game actually spawns new NPCs for you to go kill or whatever, but probably. Anyway, I don't think there's ever any end to them. I don't think there's ever any, like, actually finishing Thieves Guild, or Dark Brotherhood as far as that goes. I think Thieves Guild is the same way. You can go do snatch and grabs and robberies and pickpocketing and stuff forever, I think.
Come on, let's see you put up a fight.
Saw Uthgerd made her way back to me. Now let's see how quick we can take down the dragon. Well, it seems like every time a dragon just sees me now, it just goes off to find something else to fight. I mean, it's nice to know I've got a reputation, but just saying. Every once in a while, I'd like to go toe-to-toe with a dragon. Let's go see who he's picking on up here. Actually, I think I know what this is. I think there's a bandit camp up here, or something like that. One thing I don't need to get snuck up on by a couple bandit plunderers or something. That would end the fight real quick. No. Stop it with the icy lips. There's some bandits. More worried about us than a dragon. Okay, well, probably better off tangling with that dragon. Punks. You got anything good? Take that. Tired of all that breathing on me. Alright, cool. I'm not really overly concerned about any of these shouts that I have to unlock here. I mean, it's cool when you have to get the trophy, or the achievement, for unlocking a certain number of shouts. Actually, I think you have to fully unlock a certain number of shouts, like all the way, all 3 words, or something. It's been a long time since I got that, but yeah, it's all good when you have all that. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as I've got Mark for Death, I'm pretty good. Unrelenting Force is a good one to have too. It does have its uses. It has pretty good entertainment value. There's some times where you can blow somebody off a bridge or something like that, and it's pretty cool. Now you notice that tone? Once I killed that last bandit, This is like, I guess, I think this counts as like a cave cleared. Like, in fact, I think there's a trophy or achievement for that too. Clearing so many caves, or, you know, discoverable places or whatever. I think this little bandit camp here, this little burned out shack or whatever, I think this counts as something like that. But anyway, you hear that tone. Interesting how that goes off. I only snapped to that once I discovered a pattern with that. Because at certain times, certain places, I would discover something, and it would, you know, it would either be a cave cleared once I got the last enemy down, you know, like the bandit chief or the boss necromancer or whatever, boss vampire, and then, you know, clearing out a place like this, or when you discover a secret location, like a secret chest or a little side room through a hidden passage or something like that. Anyway. I don't need any of that. Alright, there's a few map markers I would actually like to just go ahead and discover, but that's cool. I've got this one. And I can use this as a reference. I can fast travel back here and go to any of these other places. Or just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Alright, so we need to go report back into Delphine. And, give her the goods and let her know that the elves don't know anything any more about the dragons returning than we do. Not really. Definitely want to go get that done. We'll go get Dawnbreaker here in the next, I don't know, pretty soon. Definitely get around to that. Oh, nice and sunny out now. Nice change from the blizzard, right? I love the scenery in daytime.
What are you
I was a big fan of daytime in Oblivion when it was really, really bright and sunny outside. Because the water and the land just seemed to glow sometimes. It just had that magical feel everywhere. Even like out in the woods or something, it's just magical feel. Oh, man. I think the music played a big part of it, and it being my first real open world RPG like
Made it out
that.
alive, at least. Your gear's safe in my room, as promised. Did you learn anything useful?
Not really, actually.
Really? That seems hard to believe. You're sure?
No, I'm lying.
Esbern? He's alive? I thought the Thalmor must have got him years ago. That crazy old man. Figures the Thalmor would be on his trail, though, if they were trying to find out what's going on with the dragons.
At least we'll learn something useful, I guess.
You mean aside from wanting to kill every blade they can lay their hands on? Esbern was one of the Blade's archivists, back before the Thalmor smashed us during the Great War. He knew everything about the ancient dragon lore of the Blades. Obsessed with it, really. Nobody paid much attention back then. I guess he wasn't as crazy as we all thought.
Sounds like the one we need to talk to, then. The only one who might know what's going on.
Riften, eh? Probably down in the Ratway, then. It's where I'd go. You'd better get to Riften. Ask around the Ragged Flagon in the Ratway. It's at least a good starting point. Oh, and when you find Esbern, if you think I'm paranoid, you may have some trouble getting him to trust you. Just ask him where he was on the 30th of Frostfall. You'll know what it means. The Thalmor happened. They've been hunting down every blade they can find for the past 30 years. Thanks to the White Gold Concordat, they've been able to operate throughout the Empire with impunity.
There you have it in a nutshell, right there.
The Great War. Only 30 years passed and already ancient history to most people. Seems to me like it just ended. It's never really ended for me. But to answer your question, the White Gold Concordat was the fancy name they put on the peace treaty between the Empire and the Thalmor. It ended the war and saved the Empire to fight another day. Also
No, didn't it save the Thalmor to fight another day?
and gave the Thalmor free reign to stamp out Talos worship throughout the Empire.
Yeah, a little backwards there, actually. Alright, well, figure out where my stuff's at. Let me get it back, and then
Need something?
go and re-equip some of my gear that I forgot earlier. Then make our way. I think we'll go back up towards Meridia's Shrine. We'll go mess around up there a little bit. Alright, so I guess I'll meet you guys there. But thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play, click that image there in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. Alright, y'all take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.